In the sprawling deserts of Riverside County, California, where the sun beats down like an unrelenting gaze, life for most unfolds under the watchful eye of those sworn to protect. Sheriff's deputies patrol the dusty roads, their badges gleaming like promises of safety. But what happens when that badge turns into a key, unlocking doors, secrets, and nightmares you never invited? This is the story of Briana Ortega, a young mother and rising fitness influencer whose ordinary day at a family fair spiraled into a year-long ordeal of obsession, intrusion, and betrayal. A story where the line between guardian and stalker blurs into oblivion. Welcome to the case that shatters trust from the inside out. But before we dive in, some of the details in this story are disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. As always, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with the channel. All right, let's dive into the video.
A fitness influencer with thousands of followers on platforms like Instagram and TikTok is revealing chilling details about a man who she says stalked her for months. That man, she claims, was a Riverside County Sheriff's deputy, and a new lawsuit filed in federal court accuses him of abusing his position and accuses the county of letting him get away with it for far too long.
By the fall of 2023, Briana Ortega had carved out a slice of the American dream in La Quinta, a sun-soaked suburb nestled in the Coachella Valley. At 29 years old, she was a devoted mother to two young sons, balancing the chaos of parenthood with the glow of an emerging online presence. With over 100,000 followers across TikTok and Instagram, Briana's content was a beacon of empowerment. Sweat-drenched workout routines in her home gym, motivational captions about resilience and self-love, glimpses of family hikes under palm trees swaying against endless blue skies. Her posts radiated vitality. Strong moms build strong futures. She'd caption a video of herself deadlifting while her boys cheered from the sidelines. Subscribers tuned in not just for the reps, but for the realness. A single mom grinding through life's weights, turning vulnerability into victory. But beneath the filters and flexes, Briana's world was carefully constructed. Divorced, fiercely independent, she shielded her home address like a sacred boundary. In a digital age where influencers court fame but guard their peace, Briana's La Quinta residence was her sanctuary, a modest two-story house with a backyard fence that promised playtime for her sons, not prying eyes. She worked odd hours at a local fitness center, drove a practical SUV with plates she rarely thought twice about, and changed her phone number periodically to dodge the spam of modern life. It was unremarkable, safe. Until September 16th, 2023. The Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival might steal headlines for its celebrity sightings and thumping bass lines, but on this crisp autumn Saturday, it was the family-friendly spin-off that drew locals like Briana. The Valley Strong Family Fair was a wholesome affair. Bounce houses inflating like dreams, food trucks wafting barbecue scents, and law enforcement booths manned by Riverside County Sheriff's deputies. Their table was a kid magnet, stickers emblazoned with sheriff stars, coloring books of heroic cops, and that rare commodity in a child's world, undivided adult attention. Briana arrived mid-morning, her youngest son tugging at her hand, eyes wide for the next thrill. "Mommy, look." "Police stickers," he squealed, darting toward the booth. There, amid the cluster of uniforms, stood Deputy Eric Piscatella. At 30, Eric was the picture of small-town enforcement. Clean-shaven, broad-shouldered, with a disarming smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes. A 5-year veteran of the department, he'd patrolled Thermal's quiet beats and served court duties without a whisper of scandal. To the families milling about, he was approachable, crouching to sticker-level, high-fiving pint-sized enthusiasts. Briana watched from a few feet away, her elder son on her hip, as Eric handed over the prizes. "What's your name, buddy?" he asked her youngest, voice warm like summer asphalt. The boy beamed. "I'm so-and-so, and that's my brother." In the chatter, Eric's gaze flicked up. "And you must be Mom. I'm Deputy Piscatella. Nice to meet you." A polite exchange followed. Small talk about the festival, the heat, the joy of kids. Briana smiled, thanked him for the stickers, and that was it. No numbers exchanged, no lingering glances.
I had a conversation with the sheriff, and that was that. I didn't think anything of it.
Briana says no contact information was exchanged, but she says months later she started receiving unsolicited texts. She says she did respond to him because she needed police assistance for an issue her sister had. But she says his texts became more persistent and romantic.
She turned back to the cotton candy line, the moment dissolving into the crowd like sugar in the sun. Eric, though, filed it away. Her name, Briana Ortega, stuck, a casual detail from a sticker handoff. In his patrol car later that day, as the festival faded in his rear view, something stirred. Perhaps it was the isolation of the job, the endless shifts under indifferent stars. Or maybe it was the allure of the uniform itself, a power that whispers possibilities in the quiet hours. Whatever the spark, it ignited a fixation that would burn for months. Four months passed in deceptive normalcy. Briana's feed filled with holiday workouts, turkey trots, New Year's resolutions etched in sweat. Her son's laughter echoed through playdates. Life ticked on. But in the Riverside County Sheriff's Department servers, a quiet anomaly logged itself. On January 25, 2024, at precisely 2:42 p.m., Deputy Eric Piscatella typed a name into the patrol vehicle computer: Briana Ortega. The query pulled her La Quinta address from the California Law Enforcement Telecommunications System, CLETS, the state's vast web of protected data, accessible only for official purposes like investigations or welfare checks. 15 minutes later, his cruiser rolled up to her street, unmarked in intent, uniform stark against the suburban calm. He knocked. Briana wasn't home, out at work, oblivious. Her mother answered, peering through the screen door at this stranger in khaki. "Is Briana here?" Eric asked, tone clipped but curious. "She's at work," came the wary reply. No further questions, no badge flashed for clarity. He nodded, thanked her, and drove off. But the seed was planted. That evening, at 6:14 p.m., another search. Her phone number materialized on his screen. Texts followed unbidden from an unknown sender. Casual hellos, festival callbacks. "Hey, it's Eric from Coachella. Remember the stickers?" Briana's phone buzzed during a client session. She frowned at the stranger's words. How? She hadn't given out her number. A vague memory surfaced. The fare, the deputy, but no exchange. Politely, she responded once, then ghosted. The messages persisted, veering flirtatious. Compliments on her energy, invitations to chat. Unease prickled, but she dismissed it. Cops were the good guys, right? Harmless overreach from a lonely beat. Before we continue on, if you are enjoying the video so far, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't like it, let me know down in the comments. Your support truly means everything. All right, back to the video. February brought a curveball. Briana's younger sister fell victim to an assault, a street altercation that left bruises and questions. Desperate for guidance, Briana scrolled her contacts. Eric's name lingered from those awkward texts. "He's a deputy," she reasoned. "He can help." She messaged him. Details of the incident, a plea for advice on filing reports. His reply came swift, but twisted. Instead of protocols or empathy, it pivoted. "You look great in your videos. We should hit the gym sometime. Send a selfie?" The ask landed like ice water. Briana's stomach knotted. This wasn't help. It was hunger. She shut it down. "No, thank you. Just the assault info." And changed her number the next day, severing the thread. But Eric didn't unravel. In the department's digital shadows, he persisted. May 31, 2024. His patrol vehicle lingered near her home for 12 grueling hours, from midnight shadows to noon glare. Neighbors' ring cams caught glimpses, a cruiser idling, no calls dispatched. And the searches? 7 in total, timestamps etching his obsession into the logs, license plates, addresses, cross-references to La Quinta. Briana felt the weight without knowing its source. Paranoia whispered in quiet moments, tires crunching gravel at odd hours, a prickling sense of eyes on her back during grocery runs. Her workouts grew frantic, reps a ritual against the rising dread. "Who's watching?" she'd mutter to her reflection, sweat stinging like accusations. Her sons noticed too, their mother's glances over shoulders, doors double-locked at dusk. The sanctuary cracked imperceptibly at first, then with the force of a battering ram. July 2, 2024. Briana had just touched down from a quick San Diego trip, a rare solo recharge amid mom life. Her SUV hummed into the driveway at 2:28 p.m., bags unpacked in a haze of jet lag warmth. 3 minutes. That's all it took for the knock. She opened the door to Eric, uniform crisp, eyes alight with something feral masked as concern. "Briana? There's been a report. A guy with dreads jumped your fence, tried to break in. Mind if I check?" Her mind reeled. No alerts on her phone, no neighbor texts. But the badge loomed. Authority incarnate. Sure," she stammered, stepping aside. He entered, boots thudding domesticity into invasion. Her sons peeked from the living room wide-eyed at the giant in green. Eric swept the space. Kitchen counters, backyard sliders, proclaiming it clear, though no evidence surfaced. No footprints, no tampered locks. A fabrication, prosecutors would later argue. A pretext woven from database threads. As he lingered, the mask slipped. "You look pretty without makeup," he said, voice dropping. "Sorry, not trying to be rude or unprofessional." Heat flushed her cheeks. Not flattery, but violation. He chatted with the boys, asked about school, then turned. "Got your new number?" For follow-ups. Fear overrode caution. She recited it, hands trembling. Out he went, but the air hung heavy, tainted. Briana's phone lit up minutes later. Texts. "Glad you're safe. Call anytime." Then bolder. "I'd steal you from your boyfriend in a heartbeat." Revulsion surged. This wasn't protection, it was possession. She typed back, voice memo shaking. "I don't feel comfortable. Please don't contact me again. I've reported this." The complaint filed that afternoon, July 2nd, 2024, to the Sheriff's Department hotline. A lifeline cast into the very waters that birthed the monster.
So it turns out he was using law enforcement databases to access her personal information, including her phone number and address. And he was charged criminally and ultimately pled to several misdemeanor counts as a result of this.
The internal probe ignited like dry tinder. Sheriff's investigators pored over logs. 7 unauthorized CLETS hits, timestamps aligning with texts and tailing. Eric's cruiser GPS painted a portrait of predation, loops around her block, unprompted. Interviews followed. Eric lawyered up, stonewalling. No comment. But the evidence damned him. By October 2024, he resigned, 5 years' service evaporating in a haze of shame. His post-certification suspended badge a relic. Criminal charges dropped December 11, 2024. 7 felonies for unlawful database access, each a felony under California Penal Code 502C, computer crimes carrying years behind bars. Prosecutors, led by Deputy D.A. Natasha Soares, painted a damning canvas. He used his position to instill fear, fabricating excuses to invade her home, hitting on her where she should feel safest. Soros' words in court. A deputy, putting the community in significant fear, leveraging power like a weapon. But justice bent. July 23, 2025, Indio Superior Court. Judge Helios J. Hernandez eyed the plea. Felonies downgraded to misdemeanors over prosecution's protests. Eric pleaded guilty. All 7 counts. Sentence? Probation. 100 hours community service. A stay-away order for Briana. No jail. The judge's rationale chilled. Nothing actually happened. No break-in. No threats. Soros fumed. An appeal filed. The case ascending to appellate purgatory. Eric walked, badge tarnished but free. Briana watched from afar, gutted. She'd refused to testify. Fear of retribution a specter too vivid. He knows where I live, she'd confide later. A cop. What if he, or another, comes back? Cameras now dotted her eaves, routines armored in vigilance. The bubble of her life shrank. Work, home, repeat. No more carefree hikes. Every cruiser a phantom. Undeterred, Briana struck back August 26, 2025. Federal Court, Riverside, a civil rights juggernaut against Eric, Riverside County, Sheriff Chad Bianco, and Doe deputies. Filed by attorney Jamal Tucson of Lessem, Neustadt and Tucson LLP, the complaint unfurled like an indictment of the system itself. Counts stacked. Section 1983 violations, deprivation of privacy, equal protection under the 4th and 14th Amendments. Allegations: Eric's predacious conduct, department failures in training, supervision, ratification of abuse. The filing dissected the rot. Eric's accesses, without legitimate purpose, a pattern of unchecked misconduct. Bianco named for oversight lapses, ironic, as the sheriff eyed California's 2026 gubernatorial race, his tough-on-crime platform now shadowed. Unnamed does, colleagues who witnessed flirtations, said nothing. Damages sought, compensatory for trauma, punitive to sting the county coffers. Tucson framed it stark. A betrayal of trust. When protectors pray, who guards the guarded? The suit echoed a chorus. Just weeks prior, a Riverside woman sued ex-cop Henry Ventura for assault. Another badge-wearer turned beast, resignation shadowing his steps. Patterns emerged. Databases as dating apps, uniforms as cloaks for conquest. Briana's voice through the legalese. Extreme mental and emotional distress, terrified in her own home. As of October 2025, the case grinds on. Summons served. Eric dodged initial tags. Bianco's answer filed September 25th, jury demanded. Appeals loom in criminal court. No trial date set. Eric? Silent. Suspended from policing. Perhaps plotting next chapters in anonymity. Today she is rebuilt. Posts resume, fiercer, workouts laced with advocacy, captions decrying silence. I sued so no other mom cowers, one reads, fist raised against sunset. Her sons play guarded, but free. Cameras whir, but laughter pierces. The obsession, quelled, but scars linger, like database echoes, forever logged. In the end, Briana Ortega didn't just survive a stalker's gaze. She stared back, demanding light in the badge's blind spots. But questions haunt. How many unchecked queries lurk in the logs? How many festivals give birth to unseen fixations? The protectors watch us all. Who watches them? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then check out these videos on the screen now. If you have a topic suggestion, please send it to the email in the description. And as always, remember to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the only thing stranger than this story is missing out on our next video.